Right, what I'm going to go through today is we've got a lot to cover, right? So the first thing is we've got a lot to cover. I've jotted it all down. So yeah, while not losing weight doesn't mean you're not losing fat, and while losing weight doesn't mean you're losing fat, right? We're also going to be going over while the scales ain't accurate, so stop weighing yourself. Loads of other topics. So the difference between weight loss and fat loss, yeah, there's a big difference. I'm going to teach you guys about BMI, which is your body mass index, right, versus body composition. Now, any gym you go in, anywhere you go to get how lean or how weigh yourself, right? If you go into a gym and a personal trainer measures your BMI but doesn't measure your body composition, get rid of them, right? All personal trainers should be measuring your body composition. All medical professionals should be measuring your body composition, not your body mass index, not your BMI. It's inaccurate, right? And today I'm going to explain why, right? And then I'm going to explain how you can increase your calorie intake, right? That help you get leaner, right? Now this sounds crazy, but I cannot stand what's happening, right? All this Facebook and everything's going around. Oh yeah, buy these shakes, try this cleanse, buy these weight loss shakes, right? So that's why I'm making this video, to help you understand the health impact it's going to have on you long term, right? So like anything, if it's a quick fix, it's going to work, but long term effects, it's not going to work, and you do get what you pay for. So right, let's get straight into it, guys, right? So let me just look in my book. So the first thing we're going to go over, right, is I'm going to help you understand the difference between BMI and body mass index versus body composition, right? So what your BMI is, yeah, jump on the scales, weigh yourself, right? Compare that to how high you are and your height, right? And that'll give you your BMI to tell you whether you're obese or you're borderline obese, right? So this is where we get into the difference, right, between how much weight you weigh compared to how your body is physically. So let's take, for instance, a 60 kilogram, a 9 stone, let's say, woman, right? And let's say she eats well for 3 months, right? And she weighs 60 kilograms at the end of the 3 months, right? 9 stone. But her body looks totally different because she has a lower body fat percentage, right? So you can't compare the two, right? You can't say because my BMI is so high I'm borderline obese. You can get a 20 stone geezer, 20 stone man that's got 10% or 5% body fat. Then you get a 20 stone man that's just, his muscle mass is non-existent and he's just so obese. So that's your BMI, right? It's just your weight in comparison with your height, and they're telling you you're obese. So this is where body composition comes in, right? So when you go into a gym, a personal trainer should measure your body mass or your body composition, right? What this does is, yeah, they're gonna get them, they're like little clippy things, and around certain parts of your body they're gonna measure how much fat percentage you've got there, right? So it works out the percentages of your bone and your fat and your muscle mass, right? And that is the most accurate way to tell you how much fat percentage you've got on a level, how much muscle mass you've got, your bone density. It compares it all rather than jumping on the scales and comparing it to your height, right? So that's it determines, body composition determines your leanness, yeah, how lean you are, not how obese you are compared to your weight and your height, right? So that's the first thing I wanted to cover. I hope you guys understand that, right? Because I thought I'd explain that first before we get into anything else, right? But everything else should make more sense. So, you know, weight loss, right, doesn't mean you're losing fat. Now, you can drink these shakes all day that help you weigh less, right? No, first of all, we're going to get into weighing yourself on scales, yeah? Why not? To not weigh yourself on scales? Do not do it, right? First of all, it makes a mental block and a mental barrier if you're not hitting your targets on the scales, right? Second thing, you're going to come to a point where you're working out, your muscle is building up, and you can't see, right, your fat percentage going down. But you jumping on the scales is not going to tell the difference between how much muscle mass you've got and how much fat you've got, right? Like I just said. So that's that's where the BMI versus the body composition comes in. So jumping on scales causes a mental barrier, right? If you're not hitting your targets and you jump on the scales and you go, oh, I haven't lost no pounds this week. I haven't lost no pound. I haven't lost this much this month. Yeah, don't do it. Do not do it, right? Anyone that's training you or anyone that knows what they're talking about will not constantly keep putting you on the scales, right? You shouldn't be constantly jumping on the scales. It causes a mental block. It doesn't understand the difference between how much muscle you've got and how much fat you've got. It just tells you how much you weigh, right? Yeah, it doesn't notice a change. How can scales notice a change? They don't know how much muscle or how much fat you've got, right? So the scales don't notice a change. They can't measure your body composition, right? They can't measure how much fat you've got, how much muscle mass you've got, how lean you are, how much bone you've got. You know, they can't measure all this, right? So stop jumping on scales, guys. Stop, you know, hitting targets, taking these weight loss shakes, right? This is another thing we're going to come into right now. Stop taking supplements to lose weight, right? You're not losing fat, right? You're not losing fat when you take these supplements. And I'm gonna hope you understand it a bit better. So let's say, for instance, right, why I'm not losing weight doesn't mean you're not losing fat. So all in all, I've just basically explained that with your body composition, right? If you're going in the gym, hitting it hard, and you're doing these big compound, you know, exercises, and you're hitting the gym hard, and you're building strong muscle mass, right? You're not gonna know the difference. Like the scales are not gonna know the difference between you losing fat and you gaining muscle, right? So that's why not losing weight doesn't mean you're not burning fat, because your fat percentage down and your muscle mass can be going up, and it's going to come to a point like that, right? So that's why you shouldn't weigh yourself, right? Right. Well, losing weight doesn't mean you're losing fat, right? This is where we're going to come into this, right? Losing weight doesn't mean you're losing fat. Losing weight, there's a difference between weight loss and fat loss, right? Weight loss is a makeup of everything. So it's how much water percentage you've lost, how much all built in one. That's how weight loss is measured. Fat loss is measured in how much fat you have lost compared to the weight, right? Does that make sense? So yeah, right, I'm just looking over my notes here because we've got a lot to cover, right? So we've done that. The difference between weight loss and fat loss, I hope that I've just explained that and it's understandable in layman's terms for everyone to know. This is why I try and make these videos, so I'm not using these, you know, personal trainer scientific words, and everyone understands it, you know. So yeah, right, right, let me just look at my notes, guys. How you can up your calorie intake and increase it, yeah, while still getting leaner and losing fat, right? Stop starving yourself on these diet plans that starve you and tell you to go and do this and go and do that. You're not doing your bodies any any good, right? It's doing it worse long term. Stop starving yourself, right? So if you're eating lean protein, right, and you're eating lean meats and you're eating well, right, and you go in the gym, yeah, and you burn say 500 calories, right, yeah, but you actively all day, right? Let's put it a different way. So you got two people, right? You got two people. One person just sits around all day and they eat 1,500 calories, but their average daily intake was 2,000 calories. So they're in a calorie deficit, right, by 500 calories, right? Second person, they're walking to work, walking home, right? They've burned what, 400 calories. Then they're going to the gym and they're smashing it. They burn another 400 calories, right? So they can then eat 2,000 calories, but still be in a calorie deficit, right? Does that make sense? So they're still hitting their calorie intake or calorie deficit, and they've got to like 1,400 calories that day, but they've burnt say 800, right? Does that make sense? So it all depends on how much you're burning, how much energy you're using, right? It all depends on your weight, what your age is, and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, that's it increases. It all depends on how much you burn, and what your average daily intake of calories is. It also depends on how much sleep you get, everything. So whilst your friend is going on an extreme calorie deficit, and she's hitting her target of calorie deficit, and she's losing fat, right? Well, weight loss, she's losing weight. Yeah, you're going in the gym, you're burning fat off, but using your muscles and producing lean muscle mass, right? And that's how you get toned. Yeah, these fat shakes where you're taking them and you're not exercising, or you're going on a diet plan and you're not exercising. Yeah, it's called skinny fat, and I've told you all this before. Your insides are still, all your internal organs have got fat around them. And this is one of the big issues why people get cancers, is because of the internal fat. Yeah, you'll look fine on the outside. Yeah, you've hit your mark on the scales. You've lost this on the scales, but you haven't burnt any fat. You haven't lost no fat. You've lost your muscle mass. You've lost water percentage. Yeah, you might have lost a bit of fat. But if you're eating well throughout the day and you're burning them calories off, but you're using your muscles in the gym, you're going to build lean muscle mass, but your fat percentage is going to go down. So this is what you've got to think about. If you're going on these crazy diet plans where you're not eating, or you're taking these shakes that are helping you lose weight, yeah, they're helping you lose weight, but they're not really helping you lose fat. You'll lose a certain percentage of fat, but you won't lose weight. You won't lose. You'll lose muscle mass, fat percentage, but you won't be gaining anything from it. And the long term effects. This is another thing. The long term effects of this. Go and buy a shake. Go and use it for a couple of months, right? A year down the line, let's wait till September, October, right? And then your next year's New Year's resolution is, oh, I want to do this diet plan again. It'll work for 12 weeks. Oh, and then you're going back to square one. But if you stick to a plan and you're eating well, someone's motivating you and you're exercising with it, right? And you're changing the way your body is, the long-term effects on that are much better. You're going to get into a routine, into a lifestyle habit of building muscle, going to the gym. You're going to feel so much better, rather than drinking these shakes or, going on these crazy diet plans, and you're not building any muscle. You're just sitting there all day, or whatever you do, sitting at work or whatever, and you're not using your muscles. You're not burning all that off. So the long term effects are crazy, guys. So but yeah, I mean that's the rant over. That's what I wanted to get into, guys. So like get used to understand the health implications that all these crazy shakes and all these diet plans are going to have on you and your body long term. And it's a lifestyle change as well. When you go to the gym or you're working out, it ain't just your health benefits, it's a lifestyle change. You know, your kids are going to see you do that, and they're going to grow up much more healthier and fitter. You know, it ain't just for you. It's if you've got family. You know, do it for yourself, number one, yeah, but do it for your kids as well. It's a lifestyle change, you know, and you know, the more you learn about this sort of stuff, you know, the better you can get at it, and the more you can teach your kids, you know, and that's what it's about. It's about inspiring people to get motivated, get in the gym, and not be sitting indoors, you know, and taking the easy way out by taking these weight loss shakes or tablets or supplements or whatever they are, you know. That's another thing I wanted to get into it, guys. It's just a little touch on the supplements, yeah. So supplements are sort of like they're to sort of give you a boost of what you know. It's not like a quick thing. You know, you can't live on shakes. What's better, you know, a natural produce of meat and vegetables, or something man-made in a lab? You know, like it's that's the only way I can explain it. It's crazy. Um, but yeah, guys, look, that's the difference, right? So that's why not losing weight doesn't mean you're losing fat. Right? Just to recap, while not losing weight doesn't mean you're losing fat. Yeah. Um, and while losing weight doesn't mean you're losing fat. Right? Just to recap, don't jump on the scales, right? It causes a mental block. All depends on what for women, what time of the month it is, what time of the day everyone's woken up. You know, it's not measuring how much muscle you've got in comparison to how much fat. It's just telling you how much you weigh, right? Um, Stop going on these crazy diet plans, yeah? It all depends. What might work for your friend might not work for you, right? And that's why our plans are individually bespoke made for you individually, yeah? Because we know how many calories you're burning by what exercises and what you're inputting in our app, yeah, that we use. It's all online based, and we can measure that in comparison with what your diet is, and then we give you the diet to work around that, you know. So it's what might work for you might not work for your friend, you know, and that's the whole point of having a personal trainer and a program built just for you, you know. You know, your friend could sit there all day and eat 1,000 calories, right? You could go you could eat 1,000 calories, but you're burning 1,000 calories, so you've got 0 calories, right? Does that make sense? So it all depends on how much you're burning. Yeah, you could eat 2,000 calories and burn 800 calories, and you're on a 1,200 calorie daily intake, right? But you know, it all depends. So yeah, stop jumping on the scales. Stop taking these supplements that are going to quick, easy fix for you to lose weight. It's not the way you should be doing it. The long-term health benefits of doing it the right way are lifestyle changes. You know, lifestyle changes, knowledgeable changes, joining the gym, motivational changes. You know, these are the big changes. You don't want to come to next year and have a New Year's resolution, which was last year's resolution. You don't want to be like, oh yeah, you know, last year's resolution was me to lose weight, but I put it all back on. You know, let's try again this year. You want a program that's built for you. You want these lifestyle changes. You know, this is what it's all about, guys. You know what I mean? But yeah, so like I said before, you know, you get a 60 kilogram woman that's got 5% body fat. Then they look totally different. One's more toned with more muscle mass, one's more fat, but they're going to weigh the same. So that's why the scales are inaccurate. Yeah, your body mass index only measures how much you weigh in comparison with your height. So that's just going to tell you you're obese. If you go and see the nurse or the healthcare at the doctor, and they go, oh, your BMI, you're overweight, and all this, it's not an accurate measure. Get them to do the body composition, where they're measuring how much fat you've got, how much lean muscle mass you've got, you know, in comparison with your height, and they measure it all, you know. That's the most accurate way. Um, yeah, so that's it. And you can increase your calorie intake, guys. You can increase your calorie intake by eating more if you're burning more, right? You can eat more. So if you're eating 1 meal a day, but you're only eating or you're eating 3 meals a day and you're only eating 1,000 calories, but you're not burning nothing, the long-term effects of that, you're not producing no muscle mass. Yeah, you're going to be losing weight, but you're losing fat and muscle. Um, So yeah, you can eat 5 meals a day, but burn 1,000 calories. You know, so you're staying full, but you're burning more. And that's what our programs are all about. It's teaching you the healthy way, the right way. You know, like stop taking these crazy. I can't express enough. Stop taking these crazy diet pills. You know, people last year, I think it was, or the year before, were dying over this. You know, and these strict diet plans as well, where you're only eating this and that. And you know, if you want to do it properly, contact me, inbox me, let me know, and we'll get you put on my plan. You know, it's not you coming to see me. It's all online on our app. So you've got it all on your phone. Simple diet on your phone. Simple exercise regime already built for you that day to smash out that day. Home exercises, gym exercises when they open. I can't express enough. If you want to, you know, before the gyms open, if you want to have a proper program built for you, contact me, inbox me. We'll jump on a call. If we're a good fit, we'll get you signed up and join in our course. You know. But yeah, get ahead of the game, guys, and do it the right way. But yeah, the rant's over, and have a brilliant evening, and I'll see you on the next video.